Hi and welcome to the AI Summit New York. I'm Susie Harrison, Commercial Editor of AI Business, and I'm delighted to be joined by Juan from data.world, who's the head of AI Lab. Welcome.
Thank you very much, glad to be here.
So can you tell us a little bit about knowledge graphs and how you view their role in data-driven organizations?
Yeah, absolutely. A knowledge graph, you can see it as just like the corporate brain of an organization. So it's all about, the graph, you have nodes and edges, and these nodes represents the concepts that people care about within an organization, right? So orders and customers and products, right? If you're in the e-commerce space, so stuff like that. So it's really a way to be able to go integrate data and knowledge at scale. And what we're seeing right now is that the first kind of applications of knowledge graphs is all about business context and metadata. And I think that's the first wave of, hey, I need to bring in all my metadata from all my different types of sources. There's all these dashboards, there's all these tables, databases that are connected, and they provide answers to executives, for example. So I want to be able to track that. That's what we call the data catalog. That's like the first application. And then things like data ops and data governance are things that are built on top of that knowledge graph that we're seeing. And then what happens is that we just start connecting more things to it. People. Hey, there's these people who are asking these questions, and then there is these business processes or decisions, and then at the end you can just start connecting anything that you want within the organization. So I think what's crucial about the knowledge graph is that it provides all that critical business context that in this new inevitable AI world and all these large language models, it lacks the context of your organization. So these knowledge graphs provide what the large language models don't have. So it's a great pairing right now. I think it's a match made in heaven. That's why I'm really excited about the future right now.
And speaking of which, what trends and emerging technologies are you really excited about in the AI space?
Yeah, so I think with in the last year with ChatGPT and everything, everybody's excited about chatting, right? So they're chatting with their data, and what the low-hanging fruit has always been chatting with your text, with your documents, and we're seeing in the last year everybody doing the chunking of their data, of their text, to put into vector databases and be able to go chat with that. That is just scratching the surface, because a lot of where the critical data, enterprise data is in your databases, in your data warehouses, in your lake houses, and where you can query that in SQL, right? So what we're now really excited about seeing is to translate your natural language questions to queries over your database. Now, what we're already starting to go see is that there is a big gap. And a study that we presented from our research lab showed we were trying to understand to what extent these large language models can accurately answer enterprise questions over these enterprise databases, basically translating questions to SQL. And I think people have been talking about this, and that work has been going on for decades. Large language models just kind of make it easier, but there is a huge gap that we've identified from accuracy. Now, if we put knowledge graphs in the middle, that accuracy increases 3 times. And that's just like with the basic prompting we're seeing. So already we're realizing that if you want to have that vision of being able to go chat with your data over your enterprise data, knowledge graphs are a requirement. So I'm really excited about the future is how, one, we're going to see organizations realizing that they need to invest in knowledge and knowledge graphs and metadata and semantics to be successful, to have accurate precision with their data. And then just starting to really have fulfill that promise of, oh, we can now actually chat with our data in an accurate way, in an explainable way, and also in a governed way. So those are the 3 things I'm really excited about.
And to pick up on that, what's your approach to responsible AI in your development of the technologies at data.world?
Oh, so the way we like to approach this is that we want organizations to think about, is your data AI ready? And AI ready, as I was mentioning before, are those 3 things. It's about accuracy, it's about explainability, and about governance. So if somebody's asking a question, I want to make sure that how am I eliminating, or basically you want to eliminate the hallucinations. So if you think about it, if I have this graph of knowledge that has been curated and governed, somebody asks a question, and I find the elements of that question in the graph, then I know it exists. If I don't find it, I can say, hey, you're asking something that I don't know about, and I can tell you that I don't know about it. Explainability is about saying, well, I know where this exists within the graph of knowledge that I have, and I know all the pieces that connect. I have all that context, and remember that I can connect the people and everything, so I can give you an entire context explanation of what that comes from. And the governance is all about, you have to define what you're going to go put in that, who's going to authorize that, who's going to accept all these things, because at the end of the day, we need to remember that this is a human aspect too, right? We're like, AI is not taking your job away, people who are using AI are taking your job away, but at the end of the day, it's like humans are interacting with these systems and they're the ones who want to have an explanation of that. I think also my caution to everybody is like, when we talk about explainable AI, it's like you're explaining it to whom? You need to really understand the personas. Different personas want different type of explanations, and I think that's something I'd like to go push more on for the community, is like really understand who you are making these tools for, because they're going to be very different. And at the end of the day, knowledge graphs are going to be critical center for enterprises to be able to be successful in this AI world.
And looking into our crystal balls, what do you think is next in AI in general, or generative AI? What do you think is coming?
So what we are right now in this wave of just generative AI, right? We've equated AI to ML, machine learning, for a while. Now we're equating AI to generative AI. But remember, the AI is much broader and everything. So there's a whole area of like the statistical side, and then there's a symbolic side. So what I'm really excited is that we're going to see more of the symbol, what we're calling neuro-symbolic, right? The statistical and the symbols, and the knowledge graphs come from the symbol side. So that's one of the aspects that I'm really excited, seeing more of this come forward. But in addition, it's like there's the what we call GoFi, good old-fashioned AI, and there's just all the, let's call it the old school techniques that from AI that they're coming back. And one of them is planning and agents, just having really intelligent agents that think about how you're going to go solve a problem. So if right now it's like, oh, I send a prompt or do something to an LLM and I expect an answer back and that's my AI. It's like, no, what we really need to think about is coming up with a plan. It's like, okay, here's the problem I want to go solve. You break it into smaller pieces, and then this is the part that this LLM does, or this is the part that this other AI thing does. And these are agents that are starting to talk to each other. So intelligent agents is something that we've been talking about for decades, and that's going to come back because it's just super powered now with the LLM. So I think the intelligent agents combined with knowledge graphs, those two things are just a powerhouse. Looking forward to the future.
Brilliant. Well, we hope you have a great time at the show over the next 2 days, and thank you for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.